All right. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give our praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, taught us the truth. And salutations to the hopeful elect that's around the four corners of the globe. I'm the brother Iwalumia from the GMS Chicago branch here in Chicago, coming back at you with another lesson. And Lord, and I hope it be edifying. The Lord put the spirit on me to do this lesson, based off the quote the elder brother Shakaria, you know, uh, put in the group me. And as you can see, in the front, it says, based off this quote, it says, I'm not telling you it's going to be easy. I'm telling you it's going to be worth it. Right. When we're in this truth, when we're doing the work of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, it don't be easy at times because pertaining to Sirach, the second chapter, the first verse on down, it talks about, if you come to serve the Lord, prepare thyself for temptation. But ultimately, all the afflictions that we go through, all the hell that we catch, is ultimately going to be worth it because what? Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai said, in our latter end, we're going to have, we're going to get the increase, you know. But I just want to jump straight into it, and I'm gonna get that. This is let's go to it. The book of Sirach 2:1. This is the book of Sirach, better known as Ecclesiasticus 2:1. It says, "My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation." So when we come to serve the true and living power, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, we're gonna go through things. We're gonna catch hell. We're gonna go through, the afflictions. Going back to the quote, I just pulled up. As it says, I'm not saying it's gonna be easy, but I'm saying it's gonna be worth it. But when we come to serve Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, we're gonna catch hell. We're gonna catch, we're gonna go through some things. You know, but ultimately, we have to catch hell to ultimately get to it. What is that to it? The prize, the crown that Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is gonna give us. That's what the worth it is, and it is going to be worth it because in the scripture it talks about how we're going to rule, the nations with a rod of iron. It says, verse 2, it says, "Set thine heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in the time of trouble." Right. It says, set thy heart aright. Your heart is a representation of your mind, and constantly endure. Right. We endure, every second of every minute in this truth. Every day is a constant battle. It says, "And make not haste in the time of trouble." It says, "Cleave," verse 3, "Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end." All right, that's going to be, the worth it. Going back to the quote, but it's going to be worth it. As it says, we're going to be increased at thy last end. I'm going to bring up the account with Job, how Job was ultimately increased at his latter end. He was awarded, everything that Job has, had lost, he was awarded, even more, because what he basically kept his integrity in the Lord and he didn't give up. It says, verse 4 says, "Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state." Right. So anything that we go through, whether it be family, bodily afflictions, hell at the job, constantly finding demons in your mind, like I said, body afflictions, you dealing with Esau's court system, we're supposed to take, that cheerfully and be patient without our change to a lower state. Exactly right. And this is going into the part of that quote, I'm not saying this is going to be easy, and it's not an easy thing, but with the spirit and power we have by Shem Yahweh Shai, we're still in the fight. It says, verse 5, it says, "For gold is tried in the fire, and the acceptable men in the fire, in the furnace of adversity." Right, it's ultimately to make us better, better men for Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Um, this is verse 6. It says, "Believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way aright, and trust in him." Verse 7, it says, "Ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy, and go not aside lest ye fall." It says, "Ye that fear the Lord, believe him, and your reward shall not fail." Right, if we believe on Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, we, continue to take on the hardness that's sent our way, and endure through the affliction. Our reward, as it says, your reward shall not fail. And that reward is going to be worth it. Like I said, I'm gonna just get it because I just quoted it. Because what? Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is going to give us the rulership over the nations. And that's let me see, Revelations 2:26. This is the book of Revelations 2:26. It says, "And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations." Right, to him will I give power over the nations. Right. We're going to be ruling the nations. Starting with the elect is going to be ruling the nations, these heathen nations. You know, but it comes with enduring the hardness, enduring the afflictions that sent your way. As I read in the Ecclesiastes 2:1, the Sirach 2:1. When you come to serve the Lord, prepare thyself for temptation. They're going back to the quote. I'm saying it's not going to be easy. Let me see, can I actually pull it up one more time? I'm not telling you it's going to be easy, but I'm telling you it's going to be worth it. And right, in serving your Yahweh Shem Yahushua, it's worth it. It says, I'll read it again, book of Revelations 2:26. It says, "He that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations." And that comes with, you ultimately, before we get that reward, we have to go through certain things, you know. But at the end, once we cross that finish line, it would be all, it would be worth it. Everything that you went through, from you losing your job, to you losing your family, to you, facing bodily afflictions here and there. So this is the book of Revelation 2:27 says, "And he shall rule them with a rod of iron." It says, "As the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I receive of my Father." And right, this is going to be the worth it. We're going to be ruling over these nations with a rod of iron. So just think about everything that you went through, every emotional setback, or different afflictions that came your way. Ultimately, what it's the ultimately to receive the worth it, which is the crown, which is to rule over these nations. But let's continue. This is the book of 2 Timothy 2:3. It says, verse 3, it says, "Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahweh Shah Mashiach." Right, we're enduring hardness as a good soldier, because ultimately, in this truth, this is ultimately to build us up. What I read back in the Sirach, the second chapter, when you come to serve the Lord, prepare thyself for temptation. This is ultimately, through our afflictions, the Lord is basically hardening us, as soldiers. Basically the Lord is, putting us through that fire, so we may become, built up. It says, verse 3, "Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahweh Shah Mashiach." So we're going to ultimately have to go through things. We have to endure certain afflictions to ultimately receive that crown. Going back to the quote, and I'm going to read the quote one more time before I actually close out the lesson. But let's continue. I want to end it off with this one, actually. This is the book of Job 42:11. It says, "Then came there unto him all his brethren and all his sisters and all they that had been of his acquaintance." It says, "Before and did eat bread with him in his house. And they bemoaned him and comforted him over all the evil that the Lord had brought upon him." It says, "Every man also gave him a piece of money, and everyone an earring of gold." Verse 12, it says, "So the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua blessed the latter end of Job more than his beginning, for he had 14,000 sheep and 6,000 camels and 1,000 yoke of oxen and 1,000 she asses." Right, so ultimately, the part of the quote where it says, I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but I'm saying it's going to be worth it. Losing certain things don't feel good. Losing certain things in this life, to the flesh, it doesn't feel good. Like I said, losing your family, going through constant body afflictions, facing Esau's court system, different things like that, that comes, to the top of my head, car troubles, whatever the case may be, family troubles, brothers have kids, you have, certain things, the problems with your kids sometimes, but ultimately what, everything that you lost on this side, everything, that you lose on this side, it's going to be worth it, because what, you're going to be awarded, tenfold, 100-fold, Salakia, just to look at the account of Job. Job lost everything, but he was ultimately rewarded 100-fold. Well, let's continue. Bear with me for a second. Satan. Salakia. Uh, Let me actually pull up the chapter. Yeah, that was pretty much the point. But ultimately, we read the account of Job. Job, went through it. He was afflicted heavily. Yahweh Shem Shah sent Satan, to afflict Job. To ultimately, to make Job a better person, because ultimately Job was awarded a hundredfold, at his latter end. Because what, he kept his integrity in the Lord. He didn't give up, and he endured through the afflictions that were sent this way. But I want to read the quote one more time, because this quote, it's like it's very telling. It says, "I'm not telling you it's going to be easy. I'm telling you it's going to be worth it, and it is going to be worth it. We're going to be ruling these nations with a rod of iron. We're going to be possessed. We're going to possess. In the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. These other nations are going to be on subjection under the nation of Israel. So everything that you're going through is going to be worth it. Because ultimately, we have a kingdom coming at the end. We have a Yahweh Shem Shah to thank for all of that, because ultimately it's going to be worth it. So with that being said, I hope it was edifying. I want to end out by giving our praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakab, that wanted to the elders and our apostles, the great millstone, taught us his truth, and salutations to the hopeful elect that's around the four corners of the globe. Lord willing, I hope this was edifying, and until next time, Wa Ababa.